Hey everybody, welcome back to Guns and Gadgets. I truly appreciate your time. This is going to be a very emotional video for me because I still believe in the rights that were afforded to us by the founders of this country. And what just took place in the state of Connecticut would have been enough to launch a revolution back in the day when our forefathers were still around. For those of you who are unaware of what I might be referring to, I will bring you up to date. Because what happens far too often in this country, if there's news that happens and it doesn't affect the individual, they don't care. They could give a crap, you know. And that's one of the reasons that our country is on the path it's on. But I digress. The governor of Connecticut, Governor Malloy, who just happens to be a Democrat, just made a ridiculous career political move. What do I mean by that? Governor Malloy just did a news conference in which he said he was going to do the country's first executive order that would ban the ability to obtain firearms permits or the purchase and sale of guns and ammo to anybody, U.S. citizen or not, that's on the government watch lists. When asked about which lists, the governor was very vague and said, well, there are a bunch of lists. There's a no-fly list, there's a terrorism list, there's a whole bunch of lists. And then they were going to use all of those lists to take away everybody's rights, in essence, without due process. Now, a lot of you have been following this situation. You might not be, up to date with what the people are talking about. You just know, hey, let's take guns off the street, or hey, you can't take guns off the street, whatever side of the fence you sit on. Due process is a term for a protection that we have, a protection from the government. And what it does is it forces them to respect every single law that we have that's legally afforded to us. Our constitutional rights, the Bill of Rights, our inalienable rights, ones that are given to us by our Creator, not by some king wannabe, not by a bunch of career politicians that just want to go with the flow so that they can get their next check in their next election. First off, let me address these lists. Is it a good idea to have a government watch list for potential threats against our national safety? Absolutely. Absolutely. However, there must be some specific set of rules or violations that would get a person on said list. That is not the case currently. To get on a governmental watch list, you just get put on. You pissed somebody off, you said the wrong thing, you were with the wrong people, you farted in church, whatever it is, you get put on the list all willy-nilly. They just do it. Case in point. I know some people are saying, oh, no way, you have to do something to get on that list. Case in point. There were 5-year-old children placed on the governmental no-fly list for no reason at all. Just a mistake. I'm sorry. Senator Ted Kennedy from Massachusetts was famously on that list for no friggin' reason. So if a high-profile person like that can be put on the list accidentally, what makes you think that you or myself can't be put on? What makes you think that we're not on the list already? To further that point, if you have seen Representative Trey Gowdy, who destroyed the official from the Department of Homeland Security, let me get her name right because she looked terrible. Her name was Kellyanne Barressi, Burriesci. Kellyanne Barressi was in front of a committee that was questioning about this list. And numerous questions came up. How does someone get on the list? Well, we don't really know. How does one get on this list without the ability or without being afforded due process? And she couldn't answer his questions because they don't care about your rights. She was asked, how does one petition the government to get off of the list if they feel they were put on that list unjustly or by mistake? She had no answer because there is no way to get off that list. You're just put on it, and you're put on it forever. Estimates say there are upwards of 700,000 Americans on that list right now. Which list are they talking about, though? The no-fly list? The terrorism watch list? The This guy likes Hooters versus Buffalo Wild Wings list. This guy's a Yankee fan. This guy's a Red Sox fan list. Which list is it? How many are there? You don't know. I don't know. It's a big secret that the government has. What Representative Gowdy did to this lady in this meeting or hearing should be done to every sitting congressional person or any official in any alphabetical agency we have. He asked her why we don't just put people on a list without due process for any other of the constitutional rights afforded U.S. citizens, such as the freedom of speech. Why don't we just tell people they can't go to church until they petition the government to come off of a list? Why don't we just institute cruel and unusual punishment on people on the list until they petition the government to come off of it? The reason is because you can't, because of due process. It's the same with the Second Amendment. It doesn't matter what your feelings are. It doesn't matter what my feelings or opinions are. The rules are the rules, folks. They were drawn up that way for a reason. What further came out is that you're not told if you're on that list. I hope the citizens of Connecticut speak up, take some type of action against what this governor is doing. He just can't do it. Sure, he's doing it, but you can't do it. It's punishable. It's unconstitutional. It's criminal. You're not allowed to just become a king and do whatever you want because President Obama wants the same thing. That doesn't make it right. The U.S. Constitution is there for a reason, and it's to protect you and me and our kids and our future. Folks, our government has taken a step towards tyranny. Yeah, that sounds all horrible, but the fact is, they've taken a tyrannical step. They are taking away a right without due process. They're subverting Congress just to do it on their own because they know Congress isn't going to be able to do the unconstitutional thing they want them to. The last time something like this happened in this country, people revolted. What makes us think that won't happen again? Your feelings? Your beliefs? Your wants and needs? Folks, rights were given to us by our Creator. Laws are passed by men to take those rights away. Remember that. What do you guys think of this? Do you think that this is the right answer? Do you think it's okay to take away the firearms of law-abiding citizens, people who've never committed a crime in their life, have had a gun for 20, 30, 40 years, over the acts of a couple deranged mental people? First, we cut all the funding to the mental hospitals, and then we took people out of the mental hospitals. And when those people do mental things, we're going to take it out on the people who don't act like that? Let's look at the bigger picture. Let me know what you think. This is Jared from Guns and Gadgets. I truly appreciate your time, folks. Pay attention to what's going on around you. Be safe. Bye.